What's up, Wise Take? Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast for Friday, February 22nd. I am your host, Patio Joe. Welcome, YouTube. I'm back, YouTube. If you haven't seen me, if you're not Wise Take members, I'm back, guys. That's right. I know all you NBA guys, I'm back. We got 5 weeks until baseball season, so I'm ready for that. Paulie D, what's going on? How you doing?
Doing good, bro. 34 days till MLB, based on the countdown you told me yesterday. Shit. I really can't wait for baseball. It was so much fun last year. Hope people in the nation are doing well in NBA tonight. I'm doing pretty well. We'll see how these second half turns out. I need LeBron, Chris Paul to keep doing what they're doing, and it'd be nice if Boogie did some stuff, but he's so high owned, he doesn't really matter all that much. But could be a good night. We'll see. I'm already in the money pretty well. And, having Chris Paul, who was low owned and doing really well on his way like a triple-double, could be a big boost. So we'll see. We'll see by the end of the night.
Yeah, well, when Chris Paul really has a good night, that kind of sometimes takes away from what Harden's doing.
Harden got 2 fouls in the first quarter. So, it allowed Paul to get a ton more minutes and usage than he normally would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were going back to baseball, man. We were talking about it before the show, man. We were just going over, man. We're so chomping at the bit. So, nation members, get in early. We already got this. We already got this good deal for the whole season for what, $125?
Yeah, it runs till March 1st. So
yeah, get on in.
For that goes up.
We got articles every day we have a cash game article. We'll have a GPP article. We'll have the expert poll.
Wise stream.
I will be on the Wise stream more often now this year because the twins are 1 year. I'll be 1 year old, so they're in daycare. So I'll be able to do these podcasts with you and CK and Cash and everybody. So join the nation. And also we got this rest of the season NBA. For $50? Is that what we got going on?
I think it's $49.99. I think you're right.
Right around $50.
Don't hold me to it, but I think that's right.
What's that? That's another let's see. There's another 2 months left in the season, then there's another 6 months left in the playoffs. So, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
God, I swear, if that's the one thing I would change about the NBA, every other night you're playing in the playoffs. Get that shit done, okay?
Yeah, the playoffs are it's not even every other night though. Like once they get to the later rounds, sometimes there's 4 days off on the optimal TV nights. Just do them every other night, get it over with.
Yeah, maybe not every other night, but yeah, sometimes they'll play game 1 on Monday and then game 2 won't be till Friday.
Yeah,
Come on.
That's crazy.
No. That's my biggest you're just sitting around, even if you're a huge basketball fan, at that time of the year too, baseball starting up, everything's you kinda it's good. The weather's getting better. Get this stuff going. If you're a hockey fan, hockey does it right. They do it every other day.
Mm-hmm.
So it still takes forever, it seems, because every series seems to go 7 games.
So. Yeah, well, half the teams make the playoffs. Both those sports, like baseball and football. Only a small percentage of the teams make the playoffs. NBA and hockey, half the teams make the playoffs. That's wrong. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. I just. Ugh. Anyways, let's get into the slate. It's a 9-game slate. We got the rest of the league playing tonight or today. It's Friday, because we have no back-to-back. So it seems like the major stars played tonight, but we still have a few high guys up there. We got, Westbrook. Paul George is the highest. Westbrook and Paul George are the highest guys on the slate. We got Jokic. Anthony Davis, obviously they said he's going to play, but I don't know. For me, if I was playing, I would.
Limited. They said only 25 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him the rest of the season if I was playing DFS. I wouldn't worry about that. I don't think there's going to be a night where I didn't play AD. I don't know. Am I wrong? I mean,
He's 8-7 on DraftKings.
Oh yeah, he's 10-1 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean 25 minutes is tough, but there'd probably be a time where, he is worth the play. Not on this slate, but maybe I wouldn't write him off completely, but we'll see as prices continue to drop.
Well, all right, let's get into it. Paulie D, let's start off with the point guard position. Let's start, you're going to be doing more DraftKings prices. And then if somebody pops out that's a FanDuel price that's kind of wow, I'm going to say, wow, he's a totally mispriced on FanDuel. What do you think about him? So, Paulie D, talk to me about point guards. Is there anybody at first? Are we just going to lock it in right now at first look? And then we'll move on to, down to Value Town.
Yeah, so I mean, Russ is 11-5 on DraftKings. Before the break, Schroeder and Jeremy Grant were out. I think Schroeder's going to remain out, but I don't think Grant is going to be out. So a little bit of usage probably going away. Utah, slower team. Point guards do well against Utah, but I don't know. I don't know if this is like my true first look, so I don't know if there's going to be enough value to get up to him. And on DraftKings for $2,200 less, you can get Kemba, who was on a tear going into the break, with the exception of that one last game. I think he went 5 out of 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5 out of 6 over 50. Then that last game, he kind of had a dud. But Michael Jordan said he wants the Hornets to make a push for the playoffs. I think Kemba's going to be a guy we play a ton when he's at 9K or less. He's 9,300 on DraftKings. I can definitely get behind that.
He's 10K on FanDuel. How do you like him on there? He's 1,800 difference between him and Russell, and it's 1,600 difference between the next guy. So I feel like you're picking one of those two and then going value or what?
Yeah, or neither. I mean, 10's a lot. Like, he's not a guy that goes way over 50 all that often. I mean, you'll take a 55 K, but there may be better plays down below. Trae Young is 7-8 on DraftKings. Got to take a look at their situation with injuries. They had just gotten rid of Lynn before the break, and he was like the only point guard on the roster at that point, was playing a ton of minutes, huge usage, had, and his last 10 games, he had like 6 over 43, some into the 50s. So he's a guy that you could take a discount off of Russ if that situation remains. We got Mike Conley against the Clippers at 7-6. That's, we love targeting the Clippers, and I'm expecting Mike Conley to have pretty large usages down the stretch with no longer Gasol, and Jonas Valanciunas has already been ruled out of this one. Dennis Smith Jr. is now 7K. Price is getting up there, but man, I mean, he's performed better than that price multiple times. He's getting tons of minutes, tons of usage. I don't mind it. We'll see what else we find to see if he cracks like the top threes or not. But, I don't mind that. Jamal Murray, 6,300 against Dallas, a team that doesn't really play much defense. Denver is very deep. They just have brought Isaiah Thomas back, and I don't know what the minutes are going to look like. That's a great price on Murray, and when he gets hot, like, his minutes are very, very secure. But if he doesn't start well, like, they could stick with Isaiah for a few more minutes, or one of the many other good guards they have. You got Derrick Rose against the Knicks at 5,700. Another injury situation we got to take a look at, see if guys are coming back or not. But still, I don't mind Rose at 5,700 against the Knicks. Elf Payton's probably going to make his return tomorrow. He's been out for a long time. I probably wouldn't go to him just yet, but he's 5K against Indiana. If he's going to play more than 30 minutes, I don't mind that. I mean, he's a triple-double kind of guy. So we'll see what the expectation on minutes are for him. I mean, there's a handful of decent plays here. Even some I didn't mention, but this feels like a deep slate, deep position. So there's a lot of options just down to 5K on DraftKings.
Yeah. What do you think about this Zion issue? Do you think he should sit out the rest of the year now because he sprained his ankle?
Is that what it ended up being, a sprained ankle?
It's a grade 1 sprain, I think it was. I don't think it was that big, but...
I mean, I don't think he should sit out the rest of the year. Like, he's made a commitment to that team, and, like, it's a great experience, but I understand the risks. But there's like insurance policies you can take out on yourself when you're that high profile of an athlete and, protect yourself from injury. You can get like these wildly high insurance policies. But no, I don't think he should not play. Like, I do think the NBA should allow people to go straight to the NBA like they used to. But once he's on the team and, those guys are depending on him, Duke, might have let up recruiting other guys once they landed him. Like, I feel like, once you're there, you should continue to play. But, obviously I'm praying to God the Knicks get the first pick and can get him, and I want him to remain healthy. But I don't think he should sit out the rest of the year now.
You know what I think when it comes to basketball is if you want to go out in high school, fine, go. But if you go to college and play 1 minute of basketball, you're there for 3 years or until you turn 21. That's what they do for baseball.
Is it? And I mean, football, it's after
that's the baseball
season. I would say 2 years. If you go.
Well, it's 3 years or you turn 21. But you get my point. You know what I mean? Like, once you're there for more than a year. This year crap is just doesn't do it. You know what I mean? Let them go. Let them go. If they want to go in high school, let them go.
Yeah, let them go. I agree. It's, or college needs to start paying their athletes. But, a guy like Zion would have been the first pick in the draft last year and, be making millions and millions of dollars. Why is he forced to go play here in college? I completely agree with you.
I mean, LeBron didn't have to do that. Kobe didn't have to do that. Kevin Garnett didn't have to do that. I mean, obviously, the reason why is because there was too many guys and they were falling flat on their face and then wasn't. See, I think that if they declare and don't get drafted, they shouldn't lose their eligibility. They should be able to go back to college. They should be able to, you know what I mean? They should be able to go back to college and play in college and maybe get drafted again. But that's another thing. Talk to me about Value Town.
Yeah, so
that's one guy I have in mind.
Okay, I'm curious who that is. Let me see. I'm not seeing a ton that's jumping off at me, but let me see if I go in order, if I find anybody. Well, Fred VanVleet's going to be out for a while. Jeremy Lin is 4,500. He got 25 minutes and 22 the first 2 games with Toronto, scored 24.3 in both of those. I don't mind him for value. Gotta see if Chris Dunn's gonna return. If he's not, then Ryan Arcidiacono at 3.7 is a decent value play. Went for 27 DK in that game right before the break against Memphis when Dunn missed. You could take a shot on Alonzo Trier of the Knicks, 3,500. It's very, very risky. I prefer using him on FanDuel where you can drop him. That's all I'm seeing right now. Who are you thinking about?
Oh, it's just I ran this optimizer and this guy by the name of Jalen Brunson spit out at 3,700 on FanDuel.
Okay.
Who?
Yeah, he's been starting. I'm trying to find him on DraftKings. 3,700 on FanDuel is, that's totally fine.
He's getting about anywhere from 30 to 20 minutes.
Yep. I don't mind it. It's all right. I don't, they do have Trey Burke there too, and not a huge usage guy. Doncic kind of dominates all there, but I don't mind that. I could do that if we need the value, but there's not a ton really jumping out at me down here in the value.
Yeah. At least not from first look, and then if somebody gets ruled out, then poof.
Yeah.
Boom. We're all in. All right. Let's move on to the shooting guard position. Let's see. Up at the top, we got our man Luka, and then we got Bradley Beal, who's been playing pretty damn well.
He has. I do think Tomas Satoransky will be back. That'll take away some of his huge assist rate that we've been seeing the last few games. He's 9.2 on DK. I don't think I'd end up there, but we'll see. Drew Holiday at 8,200. It's kind of interesting to me. Don't love taking guys against the Pacers, but I could see this guy kind of, becoming the alpha of the team with Davis not getting a ton of minutes, probably not playing in the fourth. 8.2 is a decent price tag. If there is no Chris Dunn, then Zach LaVine at 7.3 would definitely be in play. Oh, wow, we got DeMar DeRozan back in Toronto. He's 7,300 on DraftKings. Back in Toronto, I think that'll be somewhat popular. I can definitely get behind that. It's a really good price for DeRozan. What's he on FanDuel?
He's 7,900 on FanDuel.
Yeah, when him and Kawhi squared off the first time in San Antonio, he totally went off and Kawhi dudded. He definitely is going to want to show out in Toronto. So I definitely like him at 7.3. Lou Williams at 7.1. Absolutely he went for 48 in 22 minutes that last game against Phoenix. And in 34 minutes, the game prior against Minnesota went for 52. He's getting a lot of assists. He's doing a ton of scoring, taking tons and tons of shots. Could definitely get behind him. A little bit further down, I don't mind Bojan Bogdanovic of the Pacers. He's had a handful of games in the 40s since Oladipo's gone down, a handful into the 30s at 5.5 in a pace-up spot against the Pelicans. I could definitely get behind that. Terrence Ross against the Bulls. This guy's streaky. He can go for 40 or he can go for single digits, but more often than not, he's showing a lot of upside. He's taken at least into the teens shots, and he's a guy that can get a handful of peripherals against the Bulls. There'll be more of those available. And that is all down to 5. I definitely have interest in DeRozan, Lou Williams. I don't think I'd go all the way up based on what I've seen now. And there's a handful of guys even just right above 5, like Terrence Ross, Derrick Rose, who you could play at shooting guard. A couple options.
Lou Williams is seems like he's higher priced than DeRozan on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings.
Is he? By how much?
He's 8,300 on FanDuel, and DeRozan's 79.
He's been paying that off, but there's not as much profit in those numbers because, he doesn't get the extra half for 3 points. He's not a huge peripheral guy, although he can, grab some steals here and there. I definitely think I'd rather play him at 7.1 on DraftKings than 8.2 on FanDuel.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And that was the for sure play of the day. Let's move down to Value Town. Talk to me about, you like Kent Bazemore?
Tomorrow? I do like Kent Bazemore. We've seen him take over that backup point guard role. I don't see anyone else that's going to fill it, and I expect his minutes to increase. He played 27 in that last game before the break. It was his first time getting over 20, and I think we'll see him playing over 25 and upwards of 35 going forward. The assist rate increased. A guy who can get multiple peripherals, a guy who can do some scoring. I definitely like Bazemore at 4.2. He's probably going to be my favorite value play at this position. You got a couple other guys down here. Wayne Ellington played a ton of minutes for Detroit that his first game with them. I believe it was his first. Or if not his first, it was his second. He played 19 the first game, 33 the second. He's going to get minutes like that. I got to see why he's interesting at 3.8. This is not it is a revenge game for Danny Green as well. Not as big as for DeRozan, but he's 4.1. You never know when Kawhi's going to sit out. So if that would occur, I'd like him even more. But I think he's a decent option at 4.1. Who else we got down here?
Yeah. Shooting guard on FanDuel, they got Trier. How do you like that?
What's his price?
3,900.
Yeah, that's a guy you can always punt because he's shown us 50-point upside. But, the Knicks, they're not trying to win. The minutes have been weird. They've been playing Kadeem Allen over him. But, if you punt him on FanDuel, you just can't have other very risky punts because, if you get two guys that dud, that could really ruin you.
What about $3,900, same price. Justin Holiday.
I don't mind it. I got to see who's around for Memphis. I think I'd rather even look at like a Delon Wright over Justin Holiday. I think Delon Wright's better. But if there's multiple guys out like they were before the break, then he'd be in play. I'm not sure what the injury situation is there. We'll have to check into that tomorrow.
I mean, the last 7 out of 8 games, he was getting over 30 minutes. I mean, he was getting major minutes, this guy.
He always gets minutes. It's just a matter of what he does with them, you know?
Really? Yeah, it's weird. You would think just on minutes alone, his price would be higher than that. So that means he's probably a pretty bad basketball player.
He's not like you need Conley out from the big usage.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's move over to the small forward position. You got probably, I think, from what my limited watching basketball, Paul George is like number 2 player in the NBA right now behind Harden, from what I've been following the last few months, and he just keeps it up.
Been awesome, and I don't see why it would stop. Don't love taking guys against Utah, but like him and Westbrook have become just like a 2-man show doing everything. I saw a note on what's his name? Schroeder. If Schroeder's out, like I think you want one of those two, and I do prefer Paul George over Russ Westbrook. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
He said it's a game time decision. He missed the Thunder's 2 past games to the birth of his child. It appears it's going to be available soon. So okay.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be back.
Yeah, he's probably going to be back. He's probably going to be back.
That was a week ago.
Yeah. Still, I think like you play one of those two guys as 2 of the higher studs on the slate, and I just prefer Paul George right now. Like, it's rare for Westbrook to do a ton of scoring. He did do it in the last game, but George is scoring points like Harden is. It's not every game over 30, but a lot of times he does score more than 30. He's taking way over 20 shots a game. He's a guy that can get multiple steals. He's getting rebounds. He has a handful of games where he gets assists. 10-8 on DraftKings. I'm definitely interested in Paul George. Kawhi's 9-4 on DraftKings. I don't mind him at that price. I like him in games that should be close, and there's a little extra narrative for him there. Luka Doncic is 9-1. I mean, this kid's been amazing. I think that's a little bit high of a price, but depending how much value's around, I could get behind it. Danilo Gallinari, 6,800, getting tons and tons of usage now that Tobias Harris is gone. Don't love the opponent, Memphis, but I still think there's profit in that price. Wow, Jonathan Isaac is now 6-1. I mean, this kid's been playing phenomenal, but he really hasn't shown us like way over 40 type ceiling. Like his ceiling seems to be like the high 30s. 6-1's a little tough, but
he's 6'5" on FanDuel. What do you think about him on FanDuel?
I mean,
too much?
I still think it's a little too much. This is going to be a deep slate, but he's a good ball player. If he was cheaper, I'd be into it.
Yeah, he seems like he's just like if you have 6,500 left for a catch game, he'd be like, just slot him in. He's going to get, 4, 5x or so.
35, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Nick Batum play of the day.
Yeah. Tim Hardaway Jr. is in the starting lineup. He's 5-1 on DK. Hasn't shown tremendous amount of upside yet, but we all know it's there when he gets hot shooting, and at 5K, even a 35 is 7x. You'll take it. I don't mind that. There's not as deep a position, but there's some options here.
Yeah. I look at the prices, like the major, like again, you got 2 guys up at the top, and then there's a huge difference on FanDuel. You got George and Kawhi at 11,800 and 9,500, and then down below you have almost $3,000 difference between Leonard and Gallinari. So I feel like this might be where you're going to find maybe your punt option of the night or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to want to grab one of George or Kawhi on a site like FanDuel and get those monster raw points, maybe both, depending. And then, yeah, I agree. Like, no one in the mid-tier really excited me. I mean, I don't mind Gallinari, but it is Memphis. And, like, there's a couple of guys in this mid-tier. Trevor Ariza at 5'9". He's had a couple of good games. But Satoransky's back. That could go down. I mean, I already talked about Bojan Bogdanovic. I don't mind him. I don't really love the mid-tier, though. Maybe.
Yeah. What about Will Barton?
I'm like, I have a hard time playing anybody really from Denver right now. They're so deep, like fully healthy. Millsap is back. You got Isaiah Thomas in the picture now. Like Jokic, like Gary Harris is going to be back. It's hard to really jump on any of them. I mean, I think his minutes are fairly secure, and he does have big upside. This is a decent opponent, but I think on a 9-game slate, we're going to find more secure options with more upside in better situations.
All right, take me down to Value Town for small forwards. There's a crap load. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, the first guy I'll talk about is your boy Nick Batum. He's 4,600 on DraftKings, and the minutes are back since the Hornets said they want to try to make the playoffs. They've been playing this guy, and even before that, into the 30s consistently. He's been getting scores between like 25 and 32 at 4.6. You'll take those all day, and maybe you get lucky like against an opponent like Washington. He pops for that 40 and helps you win a tournament. I don't mind him. Luke Kennard is in play. He's 4K against Atlanta, a team that plays super fast, turns the ball over a ton. He's been getting 30 minutes or more in the last 3 since the trades. I think he's an option. I don't really love playing Dorian Finney-Smith all that often, but he's 3,900, and he's been getting huge minutes and kind of does a little bit of everything.
What about DeAndre Bembry?
I don't mind Bembry. He's probably super cheap. He's 3.3 on DraftKings, which
he's 41 on FanDuel.
Yeah, and I mean, he hasn't really seen more than 20 minutes in like the last 10 games, and they're deep and healthy as well. I'd rather play even Taurean Prince and definitely Bazemore over Bembry. Let's see who else is down here. Wow, J. Michael Green is 3,400. He's going to be power forward on FanDuel, but in the 2 games since getting traded to the Clippers, he's played 20 and 25 minutes, gone for 22 and 25 at 3.4 on DraftKings. That could be in play, especially if I did see some news on Jaren Jackson Jr. being potential. Oh no, he's not on that team anymore. We'll see. We'll see who's around for the Clippers, but that's a cheap value option I think is in play. I'll talk about him at power forward. What's Mario Hezonja's minutes? Mario Hezonja's minutes have gone away. I think that's it, but there's definitely some punt options down here if you do want to go all the way up with one and all the way down with the other.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what about Tariq Evans? I know he's a game time decisions, but
what's his price?
He's only 3,700 on FanDuel.
Where is he on DraftKings? 4K on DraftKings, definitely at 37 on FanDuel as a punt. He's just another guy who hasn't seen a ton of minutes. I don't think he's part of like the core group of guys in Indiana. I don't think he'd close. You'd need like another guy to be ruled out to go there.
All right. Let's talk about power forward Paulie D. Obviously, we talked about this a little bit before the show, or no, when we started. AD is 10-1. I don't know I don't think you're going there. I'm not going there. And then it's 9,200 with Blake Griffin. I know you're a Blake fan. Are you marking out tonight? Are you marking out tonight?
Not really a big Blake Griffin fan, but this is a phenomenal.
I think it only just seems like whenever we're on together, you're always like, play Blake Griffin.
He's like always the only expensive power forward on the slate, it seems like, on FanDuel. He's 8-9 on DraftKings against Atlanta. Absolutely. AD's 8,700. I agree, though. Like, with them saying he's only going to play 25 minutes a game, it's hard to go there. I mean, he can definitely go for 50 in 25 minutes, but I think, there's just going to be better options on the slate. Montrezl Harrell at 6,900 is certainly in play. I like that price. He's getting big minutes. Memphis doesn't have a ton of size. Serge Ibaka has been playing really well. It is tricky with Gasol and Siakam there, so I'll actually scratch that. So Jaren Jackson Jr. is questionable for tomorrow. If he were to be ruled out for Memphis, Ivan Rabb at 5,600 would certainly be in play. We already know Valanciunas is ruled out. Domantas Sabonis is down to 5,500. He's a guy that, in his last 3 games, he went for 30 and 2 of 3 at 5.5. You'll take that, and he's got upside more.
He's 6,100.
Yeah, that's a little higher. It's a little tougher there. No double-double bonus, but on DraftKings, he's a guy you could take a shot on. And that's really it. There's not a ton there. I really do like Blake Griffin. He stands out at this position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're not going to play Randall because Davis is just going to take away from him, right? Is that?
I mean, he finally played really well that last game before the break against OKC. But at 7,400, he's probably more on FanDuel. I don't think so. I just, don't love the situation right now for them.
All that Washington value a couple weeks ago with the new players, Bobby Porter said they moved up their price now that they're not as tempting anymore, huh?
Nope, and they got Satoransky back, so I don't think I'm going there.
Cool. Let's move down to Value Town for power forward. Paulie D, what you got?
So Marvin Williams is 4,800 against Washington. We like power forwards against them. They got smoked the last game before the break by Orlando, but, when they're not getting smoked, he's seeing minutes into the 35s. He's like their third offensive option, and against a team like Washington that doesn't have much size, he should do well on the rebounding end. I don't mind that. If Dario Saric continues to start for the Timberwolves against the Knicks, I could certainly get behind that at 4,800. Luke Cornett is 3,500 on DraftKings. He's played 28 and 31 minutes the last 2. If he's going to continue to start at that price, he's definitely a value play we got to consider.
You said you like JaMychal Green already on the other side, so you like him on FanDuel?
What's his price?
4,300.
Yeah, I honestly I do. We'll see who's available for the Clippers. For anyone that's out, that would help. But 3-4 on DraftKings is certainly an option. But I do like Cornett better at 3,500.
Oh, okay. And this is on FanDuel? Cornett's at 3,500?
No, on DraftKings it's 35. He is power forward, I think, on FanDuel.
He's just 4,500.
45, a little bit less attractive, but still viable. There's a handful of options down here. I wonder if Markieff Morris is going to make his debut. He fully practiced for OKC. He's 4,500 on DraftKings. I don't mind taking a shot on him if you're building multiples.
Mm-hmm. Who's this guy, Kostas Antetokounmpo? Is this Giannis's brother or something?
Yeah. Yep, that's his brother.
It really is. I just
yeah.
That was just a throw in the dark. we also live in a world where Dirk Nowitzki is min price.
Yeah, he never plays more than like 12 minutes. But
it's just crazy, you know what I mean?
yep.
Like, you look at the legend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's finish up with centers, and then we'll do top threes.
All right. Before we do that, I got to take a sneak peek at Boogie's stats because he was killing me at the half. 11.6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. That's 13 and a half plus 750 is 22 plus 3. So he's at 25 DraftKings points. Doing better. Still got a whole fourth quarter to go. All right. I'll take it.
Yeah, why not? Hey.
While I'm there, let me sneak a peek at Chris Paul. Chris Paul's 1 rebound and 2 assists away from a triple-double. And LeBron has a double-double going, 21 points, 10 rebounds, only 4 assists, is stealing a block. He might be letting me down a tad. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant has 6 blocks and a steal. If you got him on FanDuel, you're loving life right now. Anyway, let's take a look at center. Sorry for that little.
That's all right. All right.
Karl Anthony Towns. Like, I'm gonna check this now, but I feel like he's got phenomenal history against the Knicks, and they got nobody that can stop him. And this game's in the Garden. Let me take a look at the history, but I'm almost positive he's just crushed them in his career. Come on, dog. All right. So, yeah, he's played them 4 times in the last 2 seasons. He's gone for 37 in 1 dud. Then he went for 80. He went for 58 and 54. He's 10-4 on DraftKings. They're starting to get healthier. I got to see who's in, who's out, but I definitely have interest in Towns. Don't mind Jokic, but like I said, they're so deep that, I'm going to be picking my spots where I play Jokic in the second half. Nikola Vucevic is 9,800 on DraftKings in a phenomenal smash spot against the Bulls. Andre Drummond is in a smash spot at 9K against Atlanta. Wow. Center is deep. Not a ton I love in the mid-tier.
This seems like it's like a multi-unit, a multi-lineup night tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of good plays out there.
Because just trying to build a lineup right now with like just what you're kind of giving me, and like there's no way I could fit in Paul George, Blake, and Towns. Like there's just no way. Like you would have to totally go scrubs everywhere else, and DeRozan,
And we don't have any like smashing value plays just yet.
At least not right now. Yeah, it's weird,
I'm sure things will open up by tomorrow, though, and
somebody will slip and fall, or
banana peel style.
Is there any good value centers, or we're gonna get minutes?
So Miles Turner is questionable, right? Like if he were to miss, that would make Sabonis like a must play, and then that would open up the GOAT, Kyle O'Quinn, who's probably min price or close to.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, min price on DraftKings too. So that's something to pay attention to where we need some value. Mitchell Robinson is 4,500. Dude's been playing phenomenal. He's gone for over 24.3 in his last 7 and then shown us as high as 45. Ivica Zubac against Memphis should continue to start and see good minutes for the Clippers. He's 4,200. Those are 2 very viable value plays. Nerlens Noel balled out, but now they're healthy and they added Markieff Morris. So I don't think we go back there, but if he were to get the opportunity, I would not be scared to try him out. There's also, I don't mind Cody Zeller at 5'2". Don't love the price, but he's, like a Nick Batum consistent 36X kind of guy if you need it. But I think you're either going to try to get up for those studs, or if that value opens up down low, or Mitch Robinson or Zubac are definitely in play as well.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it would be nice if Miles Turner was out and Kyle O'Quinn. That definitely would be like the Bogdan.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. They do also have a guy named TJ Leaf who could interfere. It's not like an automatic, but we'll see what their starting lineup looks like if he does miss.
For sure. All right, Paulie D, let's move on to top threes, and then we're going to get on out of here. Of course, be sure to join the nation. Did a day pass, and you will see these two same faces break down the live stream slate tomorrow. But we do game by game. So we get more involved to it, and I make a lineup. I'm making a lineup now, actually, but we're going to we'll make it even a better lineup as the value opens up. So, Paulie D, top 3 point guards. Don't matter what site. What you got?
Come on, LeBron. Point guards. So, definitely have interest in Kemba. That's more of a DraftKings play, but I do like Kemba. Do like Freddie Young, and we'll go with Jeff Teague.
All right, Jeff Teague. All right, nice. Shooting guard.
DeRozan, Lou Williams, and Kent Bazemore.
All right. Nice. Small forward.
Kawhi. Nick Batum. And Paul George.
Nice. All right. Power
forward. Give me Blake Griffin. Give me Montrezl. And certainly if Miles Turner's out, Domantas Sabonis. And if not, I am cool with Luke Cornett. I like a lot.
All right. And let's move on to center.
Yeah, center, it's going to be Drummond, Vooch, and I'll say Zubac for now.
All right. Let me roll by this lineup I got going on here, and it's just first look lineup, guys. I wouldn't roll with it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got Mike Conley and Jeremy Lin, DeMar DeRozan, Ken Bazemore, Paul George, Nick Batum, JaMychal Green, Blake Griffin, and Kyle O'Quinn, assuming that's out. So, but that's tough. Like I said, like we were talking, you want to fit in.
Yeah, like I don't think I would punt O'Quinn and JaMychal Green. They're both very risky, but there's probably somebody you could downgrade and then upgrade one of those.
But if you had to rank, like right now, who would you rank just right now between George, Griffin, Towns? Those three.
Probably Blake Griffin.
You would knock out that. You would take him.
He's the one I would play.
You're for sure you would play him, and then either the other two.
Yeah, because there wasn't a ton of good options at power forward, like that could get you a similar score, like Paul George, like Kawhi, and center there was tons of options. So I think
you maybe do one lineup with Paul George and Blake, and then one lineup with Blake and Towns.
Yep. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, you go with that. What would you think would be more of the cash game play, and what would be more of the GPP play? George cash.
George will probably be the cash game play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Nice. All right. Do we need to let Steve know, or is he?
I'll let him know. Let's talk some baseball till he gets there, though.
Yeah. Manny Machado is on the Padres. I think that Harper is going to sign sometime soon.
You think he's going to go to the Phillies?
No.
Where do you think he's going to land?
I think he's going to go to either Giants or the Padres.
I just can't see him going to the Padres, but
I really could see him going to the Giants. He just fits as a Giants. Just hit the ball. Hit it into the bay.
Yeah, it's in the cove.
In the cove, and it's funny when the Dodgers were talking about signing him. I never even really thought like, wow, the Dodgers are going to sign Bryce Harper, because I feel like he hasn't. I feel like he's regressed a little bit. Like, I don't feel like he's had some really good years, but last couple of years, man, he strikes out a ton, and I feel like the shift has just really affected him.
Yeah, if he was smart, he'd go to the American League.
Be a DH, yeah.
And just better. There's better hitting parks in the AL. There's the DH. Like, more runs get scored. He'll have more at bats with guys on base.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's going to get paid no matter what. Who would you say is like the front runners for the World Series? Give me like 3 from the American League, 3 from the National.
I mean, it's hard not to say the Red Sox again, because they really haven't lost much besides Joe Kelly, and I think the Yankees are going to be pretty damn good this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Astros, I still love their team too. I think those are the 3 top teams. It's hard. And then the National League, you could still say the Dodgers are there. I don't think they've done that much to improve their team. I like AJ Pollock.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't need him. They need like pitchers, I think, that can.
Yeah. Buehler.
Yeah.
Buehler's going to have to do a big jump. Urias is going to have a big jump. And Kershaw's going to have to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Bullpen, Joe Kelly comes in, so that kind of helped with Jansen. I like it. I just think that all these other teams are getting better. I think what the Cardinals did, they're going to be pretty good. They signed Goldschmidt.
Yeah. Yep.
I like what they did. And then you can't ever count out the Cubs. I think that the Brewers are still going to be the National League. There's so many teams that there could be one that could rise up. I guess you could say the Padres, if they get any pitching at all, the Padres could be competitive. If the Phillies sign Harper, they could be competitive.
Yeah. They're definitely on the rise, the Phillies, even without Harper, I would say.
There's not very many teams where you'd be like, okay, yeah, they're already out. Marlins are out. Pirates are out. A lot of these teams, some of them are already out, but most of the teams are still around. They still have a shot. Don't forget about the Rockies. They've made the playoffs the last 2 years. Believe it or not, they just played in the wild card game and lost the wild card games.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I think that for the Dodgers, they're going to have to sign somebody. It's somebody like really, really, because they opened up a spot on the outfield, or they're going to have to trade somebody. It's just the team is not complete right now. I don't really like it, but that's how they kind of operate. They're building towards October, but man.
Yeah. They've got a lot of young talent though to make trades mid-season. They'll be in the hunt.
I think the one guy who might be traded is Jock Peterson. That's the one guy I'm thinking.
There's a handful of guys, but that's a little sneak preview of MLB.
Yeah,
definitely have a couple shows before the season starts. Stevie's there. You can take us.
All right. All right. Yeah, that's a little preview MLB. Maybe when we get on these shows, we'll do a little bit more of the process of our MLB process of selecting players. Anyway, so be sure to buy that day pass. Put those thumbs up on YouTube. Get the like buttons, all that stuff on Facebook. Share us on Facebook. Share us on Twitter. Do the hashtags, all that stuff. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Paulie D on Twitter. And be sure to, like I said, buy a day pass and join us for the NBA live stream. Join me and Paulie D as we break down Friday's slate. So, for Paulie D, I am Patio Joe. And as the Godfather CK says, good luck.
Yeah.